Hello everyone, hope the past weeks have been amazing for you. Today's video is going to be 6 steps to master trading psychology. Now this is what helped me for my personal journey, and out of the many facets when it comes to trading, you've got the technical analysis and you've got psychology, you've got risk management. Trading psychology was one of the last things for me to maintain consistently. So what I had done, out of the many hours of backtesting, I backtested a year and collected a year of data. At the end of the year, I found myself to be in 20% profit of my capital. Doing that has proved to myself and made me confident that my strategy works. Another thing is it's all about probabilities. So let's say within that year, I had a 50% strike rate, meaning if I took 70 trades, 35 of those losses can come all in one go. The reason why backtesting is important, as I now know that is all about probabilities. I've proved to myself that at the end of the year, I'll be okay. So when I'm in that losing streak and I'm about to head in a state of delirium, I can then look back at that year of data and understand that I'll be okay in the end. Forward testing was important to me as it helps me manage adrenaline. Now you might be thinking, what does adrenaline have to do with trading? When you're in a trade and you've got risk on the table, your heart rate increases, whether you've noticed or not. Now my goal was to manage my adrenaline levels. To manage my heart rate, I was getting used to marking up a trade and watching it hit stop loss. Seeing these things without risk on the table desensitizes you. It teaches you to understand that it's not the end of the world, that all you need to do is breathe. It also was a way for me to punish myself. One of my rules is only take 3 trades within a week. If I'd spent those 3 trades on low probability trades that I'd taken on tilt, for the rest of the week, when I'm forward testing and I'm seeing those high probability trades, I'm going to be frustrated. Now, how do I use that frustration to my advantage? For the next week, I'm going to be like a sniper. I know that I only have 3 bullets, so I'm not going to expose myself to the market or to anyone else by shooting targets that I know I won't hit or targets that I know won't pay off. I'm going to be patient because I'm not going to want to suffer like I did last week and miss out on the high probability opportunities. Risk management helps you feel safe and relaxed. My risk management strategy is to risk 0.25 to 0.5%. And if I've created a decent buffer, it can be 1. Depending on the account's parameter or rules, I can take 10 to 20 trades without blowing the account. If I'm in a state of delirium or on tilt, I know that as long as I stick to risk management, I'll be okay. Having a daily routine helps enforce discipline. Part of my daily routine is going to the gym and reading a book. On days that I don't feel like this, I know that it's best to stick to the strategy, stick to my daily routine, and not give in to my emotions. Why? Because I know it will pay out long term. So it's about sacrificing that short-term pleasure for the long-term goal. This can be a transferable skill in trading, as when I'm in low probability market conditions or when I'm in drawdown, I know that the best option is to not give in to my emotions, and that is about the long-term game. It's about being disciplined, as it will reward myself. Just how reading improves knowledge and patience, gym improves strength and health, sticking with my strategy will not only help me maintain psychology, but it also bring financial rewards in the end. Having less screen time on the charts, other than the hours that we've put into backtesting, of course, when we're in live market conditions, I'm only going to look at the market at certain times that history or my backtesting has proven to be high probability. If I'm doing this, then I'm removing room for error. The longer you look at the trade, the more reasons that you're going to see to get in or out of that trade. This means that there's more risk on the table. So what I'd recommend if you're using TradingView is set alerts at key areas that will get you involved or out of the market. The other screen time that I was talking about relates to dopamine. And this is Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok if you use it. Managing the screen time on these things is important. The reason for this is dopamine. So we've got dopamine on the y-axis and we've got time on the x-axis. Initially, you've got your low-level dopamine baseline, and that's the dopamine that's always being released. This is called the tonic release. So that's your dopamine baseline. Let's say you're scrolling on TikTok, for example. Once you're scrolling and you're motivated to find that video and you're anticipating it, and then you find the video that entertains or stimulates you, you have a phasic release. This phasic release is the peak that rises above the baseline. And what happens after you encounter that video is your dopamine drops below the baseline. Dopamine is important because it's all about the motivation and pursuing goals or tasks. If your dopamine is extremely below baseline because you've had such a phasic release in a short period of time, you're going to have an even deeper drop. So this means that when you're at this drop, it's going to be harder for you to backtest and stay motivated. It's going to be harder for you to maintain that risk management. It's definitely going to be harder for you to enforce that discipline, to maintain that daily routine. So that's how managing my dopamine releases helped me. Last but not least is accountability. Having a mentor or journaling helped maintain my psychology because it held me accountable. Now you would have known that one of my rules is only take 3 trades a week. If I've taken 4 trades in a day, which is clearly breaking my rules, I know that I have to journal all 4 of those trades. And this can be very time consuming and frustrating. So rather than succumbing to my emotions, I'm gonna remember that later on, I'm gonna have to pay for all of these mistakes that I'm making. Additionally, having a mentor helped me because if I'm going to my mentor at the end of the week about the same mistakes that I've made that I could have fixed, I feel like I'm not only wasting my time, but I'm also wasting their time. So these are the 6 steps that helped me throughout my journey. I hope that you can take something away from this. If you have any questions, again, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next week.